Trump breaking news. Trump targets Haley in Super Tuesday states, with millions of Americans going to the polls on Tuesday, the most crucial day of the U.S. political calendar. Donald Trump is aiming to solidify his grip on the Republican presidential candidacy. Historically, the campaign for the presidential nomination reached a turning point on Super Tuesday, the greatest single day of voting in the primary season. With elections in 15 states and 1 territory, Trump keeps winning Republican primary states and eliminates his lone remaining opponent, Nikki Haley. This election season will be much less dramatic than others. At a rally in Richmond, Virginia, Trump took the stage to tell fans, "We've been sort of in a rocket, we've been launching like a rocket to the Republican nomination." He emphasized his success in Iowa, New Hampshire, Nevada, and South Carolina. "The largest day in the history of our country is November 5th, he told the gathering, making it apparent that he is already thinking about the presidential election in the fall, not just the primary. Even though President Joe Biden is considered a formality to win the Democratic nomination, he is still trailing Trump in most swing state surveys for the general election. Even though Trump easily won the early nomination states, Haley is determined to keep running for president until Super Tuesday. Candidates have a chance to earn 70% of the delegates necessary to be designated the probable nominee in the lineup of states that are up for grabs, which includes the massive battlegrounds of Texas and California. Although Trump's campaign claims he will be crowned no later than March 19, they acknowledge that he cannot mathematically win the election on Tuesday night. Republicans in the post-Trump era using the fact that voters have rejected Trumpism in nearly every election since 2016 and would likely do so again in November. 52-year-old Haley has been arguing that Trumpism is not electable. In addition, she expresses concern about the chaos surrounding a candidate who, during the past few months, has been convicted of sexual assault and scams totaling hundreds of millions of dollars, as well as dubbed an insurrectionist by a federal court. Many federal and state felony allegations, including those alleging that Trump attempted to cheat or steal the 2016 and 2020 elections, put him in danger of jail time. He denies all wrongdoing. While many of Trump's court hearings have been voluntary and utilized afterwards to ask for donations, the 77-year-old still claims that his prosecutions are preventing him from campaigning. He has spent 9 days in court this year alone. At his South Florida beach resort, Trump will make his re-election case in a televised address on Tuesday. Meanwhile, his lawyers will be busy preparing for his trial in New York on March 25 for alleged violations of campaign finance laws in 2016. In the meanwhile, the ex-president has been rejoicing over Supreme Court rulings that retain him on the ballot in 3 states that sought to disqualify him for being an insurrectionist and postpone his 2020 federal election conspiracy trial in Washington, probably until after November. There has been talk of Haley running as a third-party candidate after she told NBC on Sunday that she no longer feels obligated to support for Trump if he is the Republican nominee. Democrats are divided over Joe Biden, who will give his yearly State of the Union address from Congress on Thursday. Despite this, Biden is predicted to easily defeat 2 minor political figures, Dean Phillips and Marianne Williamson, in his primary. The New York Times released a poll on Saturday that showed dwindling support from traditionally loyal groups, such as non-white voters and blue-collar workers. The study found that nearly 2/3 of those who voted for the 81-year-old in 2020 believe he is too elderly to be an effective president.